Hi guys, good evening and welcome back once again to The Edward. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I will be discussing what I thought of the latest and very fun addition to the Fear Street franchise we got in the form of, I don't know if I would call it a spin-off, but it's definitely a story set between stories that occurred during the Fear Street trilogy, Fear Street Prom Queen. It dropped on Netflix today and I just finished watching it, and I really, really liked it. And before I give you guys my very spoiler-filled review, please be warned, this is a spoiler-filled review, so if you haven't seen Fear Street Prom Queen yet, and you plan to watch it at some point this weekend, you don't want to keep watching or listening to this video review, as I will be discussing spoilers, plot details, character stuff, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. So, first and foremost, thoroughly enjoyed it. Above all, I was pleased that the character or characters whom I didn't suspect turned out to be the killers, because there was a plethora of potential victims, but there's also a plethora of potential suspects as well in any slasher. So until a character gets murdered, anybody could be the killer, basically. I suspected the vice principal, the woman from The Conjuring. She made a good suspect. Her uptight son also made a good suspect. The janitor was way too obvious. I knew it wasn't going to be him. I also pictured, like the stoner friend, Megan. At first, I thought she was involved, but as one murder was occurring, it showed her walking around the school. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's not her. And then it's revealed that there's two killers. I'm like, oh, okay, so they've caught one, but who's the second? This can't be the end. And then it ends the way it does, and it was quite good. As a big fan of the Fear Street trilogy, the batch of films that dropped several years ago on Netflix, based on the same books in the same name by R.L. Stine, also creator and author of Goosebumps, a show I absolutely loved when I was a kid and I appreciate even more as an adult. I really enjoyed this movie, Prom Queen, and I kind of figured I would, because it's very much in the same vein as the other Fear Street films. It takes place in the 1980s, and there's a killer on the loose during prom, and it's a real whodunit with a few twists and turns here and there. And overall, I just thought it was a fun, solid slasher. That's exactly what I was hoping for and expecting out of this movie. It was just a fun, solid slasher film, and that is exactly what we got. It had killer music, a great soundtrack. I enjoyed the dance-off between Tiffany and Laurie. That was great. And, it had when it came to revealing the killer or the killers, it was also quite satisfying and a bit surprising, because they were not on my suspect list. I mean, I thought they were just meat fodder or cannon fodder, or just, meat to be killed there. But nope, they were the killers, Tiffany and her two parents. Although I think it was her parents who were dressed up in the scary costumes, as Tiffany was busy attending prom, but she was probably involved in the overall planning, and then attempted to kill Laurie at the end there when they're hiding, and she's like, oh, it was beautiful, and then tries to pull a knife on her. And then the reasoning behind it all, apparently Laurie's mom, back during their prom, stole Tiffany's mom's boyfriend from her, and Tiffany's mom never forgave her for that or let that go. So that's why they're carrying out this revenge plot against Laurie, because of her mother and because of her. And it just goes to show how extreme people can be, and how far they'll go to get what they want. This is obviously an extreme example, and it's just a fictional story, of course, about a serial killer killing teenagers on prom night. But it just goes to show you just how far people will go to get what they want. And it can be pretty frightening and pretty scary when people reveal or show their true selves, and they'll show how far they are willing to go to be the winner, to be the number one, to be on top, to be number one, or just to get what they want. And They don't care who they hurt or kill along the way to do it. Solid kills, great graphic, creative kills, both by the killers and when Laurie pushed or kicked Tiffany to her death and then she pierced herself on the Falcon statue. Absolutely solid kills. It was bloody, it was gruesome, it was violent. Everything you want out of a fun, solid slasher film. And it had some creative kills. It had some great 80s music that I really enjoyed as well. And so overall, I give this movie a thumbs up. I would say it's definitely worth your time. If you're a horror fan, if you enjoyed the Fear Street trilogy films, you will definitely enjoy this film. I guarantee it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I do not understand the negative reviews, but I guess people still don't know a slasher when they see one, or they don't know what to expect at this point. But I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I was just so bummed they killed off Ariana Greenblatt so quick. She's been in so many good movies and shows lately, and then she's like the first one to die. I was like, damn, I was hoping we'd get more of her. I also love the couple of details, how the stoner friend Megan had that awesome Zombie poster in her room. Zombie is a 1979 zombie movie from an Italian filmmaker that was made as a follow-up to George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. Highly recommend it. I enjoyed it very much, and I hope you guys would too if you watch it. That was a fun detail, seeing that poster for that film in her bedroom. The other detail I liked is how she was the one who's starting to catch on what was really going on and how people were disappearing and not being seen again, and how something suspicious was going down during or at prom. And of course, nobody listens to the horror movie fan, and shit inevitably hits the fan later. Should have listened to Megan. They probably could have spared some bloodshed and some energy, but oh well. Overall, though, I enjoyed this film. I don't know if I'll watch it again, but it definitely made me want to rewatch the Fear Street trilogy, which I absolutely enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed this movie as much as I did. What did you think of it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings down below in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Fear Street Prom Queen is now streaming on Netflix. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. Thanks for watching. And of course, until next time, what's your favorite scary movie?